Hello, in this video I'm going to show you how to design a three-dimensional assembly with multiple parts in it. Today we're going to be designing the micro chair for your upcoming furniture design project. So, first thing we're going to do is save your file. I've already saved mine, but make sure to save yours in the turn-in folder so that you don't lose any of your work. And I can see it. Next we're going to start by creating a sketch on a vertical plane. And we're going to draw a shape. Don't copy me yet. I'm going to do an intentionally bad one so that it's easy to show you how to fix things. So I'm going to first make a line that is 2.5 inches tall, and that's not straight, so I'm going to use one of my constraints here to make it straight. Constraints are geometric limitations that you put on your design. This is the horizontal vertical constraint. I'm going to click on that and then click on my line, and now it's vertical. Then I'm going to create a dimension, shortcut D, to make this 2.5 inches tall. Then I'm going to draw the rest of my design now that I have my scale. I'm going to do this again intentionally poorly so you can see how to correct it with geometric constraints. Oh, I should do that last one even worse. Okay. So here's the list of constraints that you might want to use. Horizontal vertical first. I want this one to be horizontal, this one to be horizontal, this one to be horizontal, and this one to be horizontal, and this one to be vertical, this one to be vertical, and this one to be vertical. Next constraint is your coincident constraint. This makes two things touch each other that weren't previously doing so. I want to make that point connect to that point. There we go. Next I want to show you how to delete a constraint. I can hit escape on the keyboard, click on one of these geometric constraints here. I don't want those two lines to be parallel. I'm going to delete them with delete on the keyboard. Then I'm going to skip tangent for now, equal, parallel, perpendicular, fix, unfix, midpoint, concentric, and skip down to collinear. Collinear is going to make this line the same line as that line to line it up with the ground. Now I'm going to apply some dimensions to this. D for dimension, shortcut D, click on the line up here, and you should copy these dimensions after you see me make them all. Like so. Alright, this is the fully dimensioned shape of the chair. Alright, next we're going to hit Finish Sketch. I want to teach you about parameters next. Go to Modify and Change Parameters after you've hit Finish Sketch. I was a little fast there. Should hit Finish Sketch and then go to Modify, Change Parameters once you're back in your general menu. In Modify Change Parameters, ooh, it's been a while. This looks different. Let's see here. Where do I add a parameter? Example, micro chair. And oh, here we go. Add. I want to add a parameter. We're going to call this plywood. And it's not really plywood. It's MDF we're using, but we'll use plywood later in the class. So we want to define one thickness of material we're going to use. I think the next thing I do here is make it 0.125. That's 1/8 of an inch, so 0.125 is the size of it. Click OK. Now we have a parameter called plywood. Click OK. All right. Now I'm going to orbit at this and look at it from perspective view by clicking on the home button. And I'm going to go to Create Extrude, or shortcut E. I'm going to click on this object. Oh, it pre-selected for me. I'm going to go a distance of 0.125, but instead of that, I'm going to type my parameter plywood in case later on I decide I want to make this out of a different thickness of material. Let me click OK. Next, I need to have 2 of these. Well, first of all, let me point out now it's in your bodies menu. So you have your first sketch here, which was the side of the chair. And then you have your first body. We'll call this the left side of the chair. And we're going to go to Modify, Move, Copy, or shortcut M. Click on the body. You see you have some different move types here. Free move or translate will work for this. I'm going to switch to translate because it's a little bit clearer. I'm going to hit Create Copy and click on the arrow, the direction I'd like to go. And then I can drag it 1 inch or I can type it 1 inch. And then I have 2 of these things. We don't want to call it left side numbered 1. We want to call it right side. Okay, next we're going to give our chair a seat. Create a sketch. And this is confusing for people. You don't always need to create a sketch on your origin or on a plane. You also can create a sketch on any flat surface. Do not click on one of these. Click on one of these right here. I'm going to choose this one. And now we get an auto-rotated view. You can rotate out of this view and keep drawing, but it gets confusing, so keep it on the top right there so you're looking straight down, even though this is a little hard to see as well. A huge important skill you need when designing in 3D is how to include geometry from previous parts of your design in a 2-dimensional sketch. To do that, go for Create, Project Include, and Project, or shortcut P. This just says, I want to draw something around this rectangle and this rectangle, so I want to include them in my sketch and click OK. Now you can see they turn purple. I think a good way to design a chair looks like this. I'm going to draw a rectangle, R for rectangle, or a 2-point rectangle right here. And I'm going to draw it too big. And then I'm going to dimension it. First, I want the back line to line up with this over here, so I'm going to go to collinear, this thing lining up with this thing. And I want it to go stick out a little bit, so I'm going to make this distance here 0.1, this distance here 0.1, and this distance here 0.1. There's definitely some things I'd change about this to make it look a little bit better, but that's close enough and simple enough for now. Finish sketch. Home button to get a perspective view. Let's create this part of the chair now. E for extrude or create extrude. Click on this and notice how it does not select everything. You need to also select the gray areas and make them blue. And then we're going to move this a distance of plywood as well, or 0.125 works just fine. Almost half of you or more are going to click OK without noticing this. It's a join command right now. Join join creates all one body. We want separate bodies, so I'm going to click New Body and then click OK. There's my chair base. All right, I'm going to start another sketch. I'm not going to start it here. I'm not going to start it here. I'm not going to start it on the back. I want to start it on the front of my angled part of my back. And then I often see students draw a big back to your chair, but I think it looks a little bit better if you do a smaller upper back here, kind of like a cafe chair. So I'm going to go rectangle. Project Include first. So create Project Include, Project, or shortcut P. We need this geometry, and OK. Then 2-point rectangle, make it too big. Create dimension, shortcut D. I want this again to be 0.1 too tall, 0.1 too wide, 0.1 too wide, and something normal. Let's call 0.75. And then we're going to hit Finish Sketch. Perspective view, home button, Create extrude, shortcut E, select all parts of the back, distance, plywood, and join new body. Okay. All right, chair, done. Let's make a copy of the whole thing. Oh, first I'll label this the seat, and this the back, and then M for move copy or modify move copy, and then click this, and create copy, and let's go this way. 2 chairs. A little farther. Okay. Now I want to take them apart so that I can manufacture them on the laser cutter. To do that, I need to select all of my bodies or right-click on my bodies menu and create components from bodies. We'll get in more to what components are later, but basically they allow you to do more things. Create components. Now they show up down here instead of in your bodies menu, which now for me has disappeared. Okay, modify, arrange. Now I'm going to arrange this thing by clicking on its flat surface, flat surface, flat surface, and flat surface. Got all pieces selected. I'm going to switch to envelopes. If you uncheck auto preview, your computer will struggle less, though it is a little bit less fun and interesting. Change your frame width to 0 and your object spacing to 0, and then select a flat surface right here. Now I don't want 48 by 60, I want 5 by 5, and I want an offset of 2. Where is that going to show up? Oh, I need to go preview now. That looks good. Oh, I can fit that in a much smaller spot, so I could go down to 5 by 2, I think, and preview. There we go. It's packing in my parts tightly. Looks like I wonder if they'd fit in 4 by 2 now. Anyway, 5 by 2 is fine. Let's see. Ooh, I lost a part, so I need to go into my history. Ooh, my history is cut off on my screen, I'm just realizing. I'm going to right-click on my arrange command in my history and edit arrange. And I'm going to make it back to 5 by 2. And okay, there are all my parts. To get these to the laser cutter, you create a new sketch on the surface of your flat parts. Use P for project include or create project include project, and select all of your flat parts in your design. Click OK. Purple. Finish sketch. Down arrow on sketches. This is my finish sketch. I clicked on it too fast. I'll relabel this as laser cutter sketch. And right click on that. And oh my gosh, they just changed it on me. Saves it to your computer or a project in the cloud. Okay, I think that's what I want to do. Export DXF. But usually it used to say save as DXF. Hopefully this works. You want to save it to a flash drive that you find, and you want to call it your name and chair. And then you'll save it to a flash drive, and we'll go cut it on the laser cutter. All right. Hope that was okay. Good work.